What's up, my friends? I was just about to unbox this right here, the RG34XX SP, and this arrived in the mail today. So I decided, since there's a bunch of videos out for the 34XX SP already, we'll take a look at this. This is the R50S. Let me zoom in a little bit. This is probably going to be considered a janky console. It's another one of the R36S family devices. It has a 5.1-inch screen, not the most high resolution, 854 by 480. But yeah, it's a 16 by 9 screen, which is not going to be ideal for this chipset. And also, look at those thumbsticks. They're above the D-pad and the buttons. That's not going to be ideal either. Someone said something about this looking like a melted candy bar back in the day when this thing was first being hinted at, and then it just disappeared. And then a couple months ago, I found it on Alibaba, and I decided to place an order, and it took several months. I was actually trying to get a refund because I didn't think it was going to show up. But you know what? We're not going to take too much time looking through this right here. We're just going to unbox it, take a look at it, and see if it's worth getting, if there's anything we can do with it. I know there was one of my subscribers, Matt, who told me that there's some PlayStation games you can actually play with the thumbsticks. Like you can play racing games where you use the right thumbstick as your gas and your brake. So maybe we can get that going on this. Maybe this could be a good PlayStation racing game handheld. Even though it has that wide screen, we can play a little Game Boy Advance on there. But yeah, let's just move this aside and get to this big old box right here. Let me zoom back out. All right, let's get into this. All right. It's nice that they put it in this big box though, because this thing probably took a beating on the way here. All right, so there it is right there. Get that out of the way. And wow, look at that thing. That thing looks wide screen. I did not expect it to look like that. I thought it was going to be like that, but yo, that thing looks a little bit stretched right there. Anyway, let's take a close look at this box before we open it up. Game console, we're very familiar with that. 854 by 480. R50S. A couple different things there. I won't read everything on here. I got the blue one, 64 gigabytes. 5.1 inches. And here's the back. Here's the specs for you guys right there. The 3 different colors. And let's open it up. All right, here we go. Before we take a look at that, let's see what else is in the box. No screen protector, but we have wipes. And we have a sticker, but no screen protector. All right, let's move this stuff out. Okay, first the cable, I forgot. Our typical USB-C, USB-A cable. All right, now we can move this stuff out of the way. And let's zoom in a little bit. And the reveal. There it is. Look at that melted blue candy bar. This thing is interesting. Okay, so that feels pretty good for, too bad this thing can't play shooters, because I mean it does have some stacked shoulder buttons. Clicky but serviceable. But man, I wish the face buttons were up there. But okay, so how's that going to feel down there? Not too bad. I mean, your palms are completely empty, but I haven't pressed any of the buttons yet. So yeah, I think for racing games, this could be kind of cool if we can accelerate like that and brake like that. Matt, let me know in the comments which games we can use that on. I got to figure out how to set that up. But all right, so let's take a quick look around the device before we touch anything. We have power, reset. We have a host, or actually that's charging right there. That's our host. 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, volume down and up. We have our stacked shoulder buttons. Nothing on the sides. And we have our 1 TF card slot on the bottom, which tells me this is likely going to be an Emulation device. It's going to be like an R36S clone. It probably has 1 RAM chip in it. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe I'll have to do a teardown and see. We'll probably be able to confirm that based on the software inside. But yeah, let's test these buttons and this D-pad. So we'll start with the D-pad. It looks just like an R36S D-pad. Here's the white one right here. But yeah, basically the same the same D-pad. Same buttons as well. They're connected, as you can see. So, all right, D-pad. Actually, that feels really good. For an R36S D-pad, they got this one right. It has the softer touch to it. It's not super tight like a lot of those older R36Ss. That feels really good for an R36S D-pad. Nice pivot. No complaints other than the location. It should be up there. All right, face buttons. Exactly like an R36S. Yeah. So really no complaints. That's what I expect, except they should be up there. All right, sticks, do they click? They do, they click, all right. Select, wow, that's a loud click. And start. All right, shoulder buttons. Really clicky. But you know, when your fingers are on them like this, it kind of muffles the sound. You don't hear it near as much as like that. So yeah, overall, I kind of like the way it feels in the hands if I'm holding onto these thumbsticks, but like this, I don't know, that might not be too bad right there. You know, it's not too bad, but it's not ideal. It's lightweight, so it shouldn't be too bad. But let's start this thing up. Hopefully there's some battery in it, because this thing's been sitting for a long time. And there's our good friend, open source console man. ArkOS, okay, so we don't have Emulate on here. Nice. Emulation station, beautiful. Well, that's pretty cool. All right, and that music needs to go, so that's the first thing we're gonna do. Okay, that wasn't start. I said that was start and select, my bad. Start and select are down here. I don't know what those are. I'm gonna have to take a look at the manual, but let's go in here first, and sound settings, system volume, front end music, off. All right, so I'm gonna think for a second, what do we wanna do here? All right, I decided to pull the manual out really quick before we go any further because I didn't know what those buttons were. They're not labeled up there, so here they are right here. It looks like they're both labeled as a function button. Function 1, F1 function key, and number 7, F1 function key. So that's everything right there. I might as well just let you guys get a look at this. Is this thing all in English? Wow, it is. Okay, so starting right here, I'm just gonna bring it off to the left. Feel free to fast forward. And the other side, I will take some time later to go over this. But for now, we are just going to take a look at this device, see what games are included, see how they play, see how it feels, and let's get into it. All right, so let's just go through the different systems. Capcom System 1, 2, 3, PC Engine, Famicom, Super Famicom, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64, 187. That's telling me the Mario games are in here. Let's check just to be sure. So, because usually when it says 187, it doesn't let me go through by tens. That's unfortunate. But let's just go into M right here and see if we have Mario Kart. We do. All right, so we have all the Mario games in here. Cool. I'm not sure if the ones on AliExpress are going to have all the Mario games because I got this one from Alibaba. But all right, N64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS, Mega Drive, Dreamcast, Game Gear, Neo Geo, PlayStation, PSP, Pico 8, options, RetroArch, all games. So we have 16,734 games in here. And I'm curious to see if these games are going to be scaled correctly and stuff. I guess PSP is going to obviously be scaled correctly on here. I don't necessarily want to test that one first because this chipset is not really designed for PSP. We can play some of the lightweight stuff. But I just kind of want to see, let's check Game Boy Advance and see if it's scaled correctly on here. And see if they put any bezel art or anything like that. So let's just go to something, what, Astro Boy or something. Well, we have Aladdin right here. Actually, Astro Boy is more fun. It's more fun to look at. All right. So yeah, this is a little bit weird down here. I might end up playing with this thumbstick. Some Game Boy Advance games, I actually don't mind playing with the thumbstick anyway, especially like Mario Kart and any kind of shoot 'em up. in any kind of like top-down isometric game. All right, so is that all right? We have proper aspect ratio. Now let's see how we get into RetroArch. There we go, function. Does this one work too? No. So I'm not sure what this one does yet, but that gets us into RetroArch. Perfect. Looks like we have everything we need here in RetroArch, but the thumbstick's not working in RetroArch. I can map that later. I won't bother with it right now. Let's just like play a little bit of this first level. The screen looks pretty nice, even though it's not the highest resolution. It looks okay. I'm trying to press start up here. Oh yeah, the screen looks beautifully bright. I forgot to test the brightness on that. We'll do that in a few minutes. Yeah, I'm digging it. I mean, you can see my hands are like literally hanging off the bottom of the device here, so yeah, I'm not saying I recommend it just because I'm digging it, but you know, my standards aren't as high as other people's, and I kind of like janky consoles. I get a kick out of them, if you can get them for a good price. So let's see, does thumbstick work? It does. All right, let's just give this a shot with the thumbstick. Oh. Not bad. The quality of the console feels the same as the R36S's, just same kind of plastic. I like this blue though. Usually they put out a purple before they put out a blue. Oh man, I ran out of my special weapons. So yeah, alright, that's a little Astro Boy. We don't need to go too far into this. Let's go back into RetroArch here and close content. And let's try something else. Since we have Nintendo DS right below, actually, this might be a really good system for side-by-side screens on Nintendo DS. A nice wide screen. Let's try out a little Mario Kart DS. See if we can get the side-by-side screens. All right, so we have a single screen right here. Top and bottom. There it is, top and bottom. Left and right, look at that. That's awesome. So that works really well for Nintendo DS. So what do you know? I'm gonna play a little Mario Kart with the thumbstick here. Do we have any volume? Is it just down or? I don't know if drastic is, there's no volume right now. We might have to figure that out in the settings. I'm not getting any volume for drastic here. You guys, if you know anything about drastic, let me know. All right, so yeah, you can play on dual screens like this for no problem for the games that you need it for, but if you don't need it, why not make it full screen? Whoops. I'm pressing the wrong button because I'm trying to get that. Let's see if I can catch up now. All right, Nick. L and R, not L2 and R2. So no volume for drastic. I'm not sure what's going on with that. If you guys know, let me know how to fix that. It's probably something in the settings that I'm not familiar with. All right, Yoshi's passing me up. But yeah, this is pretty cool. You know, it's not cool that I can't hear anything right now. We definitely heard the audio on Astro Boy, and that was perfectly fine. Didn't have any problems with that. So I think it's something to do with drastic because RetroArch is working. So yeah, I don't think we need to play a full game of Mario Kart or a full race here either. We can see there's some kind of issue we need to work with. And let's see the thumbstick down here. I mean the D-pad. It's still serviceable, but I don't know how long you're going to want to play with your palms completely empty like that. They made this device like ergonomic. It has nice little grips on the bottom, but you can't even use them if you're using the D-pad and the face buttons. I mean, if we were up here like this, yeah, that'd be pretty cool, but all right. So let's get out of here. Okay, so the function button, the same button that works for RetroArch, works for drastic. Usually you got to push a thumbstick in or something, but All right, I'm not going to go into the menu here and try to see if I can figure out anything about audio. I'm going to just leave that. Hopefully you guys can let me know in the comments. Some of you guys are experts. I know that. Help me out, you guys. I'm not an expert at this stuff. So let's check out what other games we have on here. Mega Drive. Let's check out some Dreamcast. What do we have? Crazy Taxi, Dead or Alive, Giga Wing, Legacy of Kain. You know we're going to have to try some Street Fighter, but let's just test Crazy Taxi. Okay. Let's make some crazy money. Get in. Oh yeah, this is playing well. It looks good. This is not bad, my friends. Sorry, I'm moving out of frame here. Alright, let's pick up one more guy. Dude, you couldn't walk that far? How did I jump? Yo! I don't know how to drive, guys. There we go. Damn. That way. I can't keep in frame when I'm playing this game. It's just too chaotic. It's too crazy. Oh no, I'm on the wrong side of the road. This ain't gonna work, is it? Nope, we're not gonna make it. This is definitely not the right way, is it? Okay, maybe we'll still get there alive. Alright, I hope this music does not force me to cut this clip from my video, even though it's probably taken longer than we should on this. Oh, there we are. Can we make it? Too slow, but I made it. Alright, so there we go. There we go, Crazy Taxi. Let's get out of there. Alright, this thing is interesting. We're going to have to try some PSP on it. Let's do that. So let's get out of here. And let's try some PSP. Let's just do some Metal Slug for today. We know this is an RK3326 chip. It's not going to play the heavy-hitting PSP games. Let's get a little volume on this. There's my gun. Alright, screen looks nice and bright. Again, I forgot to test the brightness. Nice. What's going on? There we go. I need to put some Outrun Coast to Coast on here and see if it runs. It probably won't, but maybe if I lower the... You know what? I'm curious to see what we have the graphics set at on here. Let's check. 1x PSP, which is where it should be. Frame skipping on 1. Okay, we're just going to leave it right where it is because I think that is acceptable for what this chipset can handle. Alright, let's try something else, my friends. Let's get out of here. I know I'm just playing little segments of these games, but I realize how long my videos are, and this isn't a Let's Play video. This is a Let's Check Out a Janky Handheld video. So we're going to get out of PSP for now. We'll play more of that later. Is there anything in Pico 8? We do have Celeste in here. Interesting. Dinky Kong. Let's check out Celeste. So here we are. See if we can get those diagonals. There we go. I'm messing up. It's been a while. They seem to be working all right. Yeah. All right. Yeah, okay, we're good. I missed my strawberry or whatever that was. I missed my key. Oh, you know what? We're good because this always, I could get past this part, but I'm going to screw up and look dumb in front of you guys right now. So we're going to get out of there. How do we get out of Pico 8? I press this button right here. Exit to menu, exit to settings. Let's just exit to menu. Close window to exit. I don't know how to do that. Exit to menu. Start and select. Exit to menu. Am I pressing the wrong button? Strange. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Fake 08. Wow, that's weird. Okay, so that's how you adjust your aspect ratio. But I don't know how to get out of here. So in the comments, my friends, another thing, help me figure this stuff out. I'm going to press reset for now. I know that's not good, but we're going to do it anyway to save us some time. Let's check out the brightness settings on here. Display settings, brightness. So we're at 100 right now. Let's bring it down to 0. And no change at all. So we have some funky things going on with this this right here. This kernel, what do you call it? What is it that's making this thing not work the way it should? Because ArkOS is awesome when it works great. I love ArkOS, but the brightness settings aren't working on here. At least it looks great, but you're not going to be able to play in bed next to your honey. So, all right, backing out of there. Guys, let me know if we can figure that one out too. UI settings, let's see what themes we have. Oh, we got a bunch of themes in here. We won't go through all these today. That's going to take too long. Let's try a little Street Fighter 2 in Super Nintendo just to test the D-pad out. And we're properly scaled. No bezel art, which is fine by me. I like nice bezel art, but I'd rather have no bezel art than bad bezel art. So we're cool here. All right, here we go. No problem. No problem. Let's see if we can get that Shoryuken. Nope. Fireball. But that happens often when I run up on Zangief. We'll get it right here. They're not the easiest to get, but they're there. Yeah, they're not very easy. Let's see if we can get a Hurricane Kick. One more round. I want to try a couple more Shoryukens. That is a big sticker on the back. I'm thinking about peeling that one off so we can see everything back there. Yeah, alright, it just takes a little bit more deliberate action to pull them off. But yeah, they work. Damn, we both spun. His was more powerful. Alright, so the Shoryukens work. Is he going to beat me? Yeah, he beat me. Alright, I think that's the first time Zangief has beat me on this channel. That's a first. Alright, thumbs up for that. Give me a like for that, guys. Alright, let's get out of here. And what next? We'll figure something out. Well, that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping that we can test PlayStation on here because I wanted to test the possibility of using this right stick as an analog gas and brake, but unfortunately none of the games in PlayStation are booting. They just pop right back into the menu. I've tested a bunch of them already and they all do the same thing. So that's probably something I'm gonna have to figure out with the memory card. Probably fix that later. But yeah, you guys let me know in the comments which other games we can test with dual sticks, like old arcade games. I know Robotron is one of them, and there's some other games as well. But I think we'll call it on this video. Do me a favor, my friends. Drop me a like, not because you think this console is great or you like this console. This console is kind of jank. It's kind of cool at the same time, but it is kind of jank, and it does make me wonder, why did they make this thing? That's probably why they took so long to release it, but it's here now, and I reviewed it for you guys just for fun. So drop me a like down below for that if you don't mind. And I'll see you guys on the next one with the RG34XX SP. All right? Thanks again, guys. Peace.